And to all my wrestling fans out there, from New Japan to TNA, Ring of Honor, chime in. I want to know your honest opinion. Can there ever be a time in history that professional wrestling surpasses the ruthless aggression, attitude era, the WCW era, the ECW era? Is there ever a moment or a possibility that this could happen? What's going on, man? Do me a solid. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you would. Would love to hear your opinions, especially on this one in particular. I cover a lot of stuff, but this one I really had to sit and think about it, man, because I haven't watched wrestling in years, two to be exact. Um, the last match I watched was against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Now, this is for everybody. Doesn't matter what company you represent. It don't matter if you're young or old. It doesn't matter if you grew up on Hulk Hogan or Bob Backlund or Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. I want to ask you a couple of questions. One, is this era in 2025 better than the ruthless aggression, any era that came way before this? Does it rival it? Is it getting close? Do you have faith that it could be better? What are your thoughts? See, for me, everything back in the early 80s, 90s was at its most raw, no pun intended. Call it staged, call it whatever the hell you want. It was the purest that it could have ever been without censorship. They had blood, they had violence, they had mild nudity. They had the women, even though they weren't very technical, you had sexuality, you had storylines. There was more commitment to the in-ring psychology, the fuse. Everything was more cohesive back in the 80s and 90s versus now, in my humble opinion. And it's hard for me after seeing people like Stone Cold and The Rock, Jericho, Undertaker, Kane coming out back then in that debut. It's hard for me to look at that and then come and look at what's happening now and say with confidence that this is better than that, or it could be better than that. I know some people be like, oh, you just old. Stop complaining, stop crying. You're never going to get that back. I didn't ask that. That wasn't a part of any of this. I'm only asking you, based on what you grew up on, what's better? Or is there a possibility that we can have that now? I don't think you can ever replace WCW or ECW or the ruthless and attitude era. I don't think there is no going back. I think everything that made wrestling is gone. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that wrestling is trash now, but I'm kind of saying it is to a certain extent. To a certain extent. That it's not like it's not funky, but you can tell that it's not what it was. Maybe it's just me. Look at who you got around the belts. All of them. How much respect do they have on the Intercontinental title? What happened to the European title? What happened to the tag team divisions? What happened to having the prestige and the respect on the mid card matches? There was a time where the mid card matches were just as good as the main events. Nobody really cares about main events. Nobody, matter of fact, reverse what I just said. Sorry. Nobody cares about the mid card matches. Every time I scroll on YouTube, it's always about Roman Reigns. It's always about Seth Rollins. It's always about Cody Rhodes or somebody like that. I don't watch TNA. I don't watch Ring of Honor. I don't know what's going on in New Japan. I'm just giving you my observation. This was what I grew up on. So, of course, I'm going to speak on it more. WWF, WWE was pretty much, if you were there, you made it. It doesn't necessarily mean that the quality is better than other places, but it kind of does. But I guess you can make the argument for that yourself. Y'all might feel differently. I don't know. I'm just sitting here and wondering, damn, who has more classics? Who has more what the hell moments? This era or my era? Whose title championship reigns meant more? This era or that era? When you looked at champions, who did you believe was a champion more? Who convinced you that they were the guy more? This era or that era? I'm talking about men and women. The feel is not the same anymore. Yeah, shout out to Triple H and everybody in different corporations, trying to make something happen. But I think that's one of the reasons why my love for this sport isn't the same anymore, between the politics and them getting like real favoritistic. That's not even a word. Excuse me. Between all the little bullshit that be going on, I don't have the same love for it. I tap into little clips here and there, but outside of that, man, they ruined characters. They ran people off. They buried people. They didn't give the right folks opportunities to shine. Some people didn't get runs as long as they should have. That turned me away. It absolutely turned me away. So I don't know. My era can't be duplicated. It can never be. I don't care how many times you try to make another Stone Cold. When I had Kevin Owens doing the stunner, that was fucking retarded. You should have left that alone. When you had Seth Rollins doing the pedigree, you should have left that alone. I get people do moves similar. Some people just can't do the shit. Some moves just need to be left to the person. I don't think the only way that you would ever be able to even compete with the 80s and 90s, you got to get rid of these racist people that's working backstage. You're going to have to take some limitations off of the performers. You're going to have to give more creative control to these people. You're going to have to invest more into other wrestlers other than Roman Reigns, et cetera, et cetera. Y'all keep on focusing on the same people. That shit is getting redundant. Nobody wants to keep seeing the same people over and over and over again. There's a lot of things that needs to be done, in my opinion, but Some of y'all might think it's okay the way it is. I just want to know what your opinion is. Let me know in the comment section. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I missing something?